Today I was thinking we would work our way to standing pigeon. We haven't done that for a while, and we'll work our way to standing pigeon. We'll do standing pigeon on both sides, and then we'll do it a second time, and I'll show you how to get into flying pigeon, which you're welcome to try. It's a challenging pose. You need open hips. It's hand balance, so you need upper body strength, the confidence, of course, open hips, open shoulders, and all that. But I think it's a fun pose, and I like to try these more complicated poses. I think it's good sometimes to get a challenge, and when you're trying something like that, you're totally focused on what you're doing, so you're in that present moment, and that's partly what yoga is about, is being totally present, not thinking about anything else except what you're doing at that particular moment. We'll work our way there. We'll do plenty of hip openers on the way, and we'll start off, of course, with a little bit of breathing. So get nice and tall, try not to slouch. I find I slouch if I don't think about it, so even when I'm walking around the block, my shoulders are slouched like this, so I have to think about trying to get a little bit more of a better posture when I'm just everyday life. Close the eyes. Bring your whole attention to the breath. Start taking longer, deeper breaths. Feel the air flowing through the throat as you breathe. Hear the air as you breathe. And keep your attention on the breath. Get a little bit more length. Soften the shoulders and the face. Retract the head back slightly. Avoid jutting the head forward. Let's do alternate nostril breathing. Take the right hand, place the thumb on one side of the nose, ring finger on the other side. Close the right nostril. Inhale through the left side. Close the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Just go at your pace. Remember to switch from one side to the other side at the top of the inhale. Keep going. So sometimes you can breathe more easily through one side than the other side of the nose, and that typically for me, the right side is usually clearer. Today it's pretty even, which is good. We're trying to get that evenness of breath. Two or three more rounds. And on the next exhale, bring both hands down. Relax the shoulders. Bring one shoulder forward, up, back and down. Just trying to loosen up a little bit. Other side. Up and down, whatever feels good. And then interlace the hands. Extend the arms forward, shoulders back. Keep the arms extended. Keep the shoulders nice and happy. The arms don't have to be totally straight, so try and avoid hyperextending. You can add a little bend to the elbow if you need to. We start to bring the arms up. Maybe some of you are just going halfway up, depends on how your shoulder's feeling, but eventually it would be good if we can get that nice stacking of the arms with the rest of the body framing the face. We bring the arms down, and then you're going to interlace the hands the other way, but behind the back. We pull the shoulders down and together, shoulder blades together, and we hinge forward, tucking the chin as we bring the arms up. Now just take the arms up part way, and then try and soften the shoulders. And then take them up a little higher, soften again, and a little higher, just working slowly, working with the body, and breathe. We come back up. We extend the right arm forward, shoulder back, and you're pulling that arm in towards you. You want to pull above the elbow, between the elbow and the shoulder, otherwise you're not going to feel any stretch. We find that stretch, a gentle stretch. We inhale, exhale, we go a little deeper. Go with the breath, inhaling, exhale, we're going deeper. 2 or 3 more. Keep that stretch and take the twist. So if you're pulling the right arm in, you're twisting to the left, looking behind you. Inhale, back to neutral. Bring the other arm up, extend it forward, palm parallel to the ground, palm facing the ground. We pull above the elbow. We get tall. We inhale, exhale a little deeper. Should be feeling it in the upper arm, across the deltoid, across the upper back. Each inhale getting taller, exhale, deepening that stretch, going as far as feels good, staying within your comfort zone. Then we add the twist. And don't forget, easy twists. Don't go deep, the deep twist until you're nicely warmed up. Come high up on your knees. Let's do gate pose. So high up on the knees, and we're going to take your right foot over to the side. So the kneecap and toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. You're going to slide down that one hand down the leg. Other arm comes up. So you want to try and get as much length as you can, reaching, stretching those hips and ribs before you go into more of a side stretch. When you're in the side stretch, you're starting to look up slightly towards the ceiling. Inhaling and maybe going a little deeper on the exhale. And take about 3 or 4 breaths here. We inhale as we come back up, and we switch to the other side. Extending that leg, kneecap, toes up. We reach up, trying to touch the ceiling before you go into a deeper side stretch. Looking up, going a little deeper with the breath. Nice hip stretch. And we're opening those side ribs. We don't do that very often, so this feels good. And we come back up. Come onto your hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you start to round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Take your time, moving with the breath. And then we come into child's pose for a breath or two. And this is nice, this just gently stretches out the back. We lift the head up and we start sliding the hands forward, coming into puppy dog, getting the hips directly over the knees, and you're bringing the forehead towards the ground, working those arms. Arms are active, pushing the hands into the ground, armpits towards the ground. Hold this for 3 or 4 breaths. This feels good. And then from here we come into a forearm plank. Well, let's come into Sphinx first. So you've got the elbows under the shoulders. And then let's make fists with the hands. Tuck the toes. Engage the core as you bring the hips up into a neutral. So the back is neutral. You're looking directly towards the mat. You're breathing. If you're struggling with this, you can bring the knees down. If you want a little bit more challenge, you bring one leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You switch legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down and we totally relax. Keep the legs straight and start bringing the right leg up and back down. Trying to get full range of motion here. Just working the glutes and the lower back. Trying to bring the leg up as high as you can. Hold the leg, keep the leg raised, but pretty straight for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes down, take a breath or two. And then we work on the other side, bring the other leg up. Try and get it pretty high as it comes up. And you're going to feel those glutes working and the lower back muscles working here. And then we're going to hold the leg, hold it raised for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower the leg. Totally relax. Come back into Sphinx. Walk the knees underneath the hips. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, no wider than the shoulders. Palms together, toes tucked, hips up and back into a version of dolphin. So you're pushing into the ground to keep the head off the ground, and then you're trying to push the mat away. You're trying to get the shoulders, the elbows, the shoulders and the hips in one line. So you're trying to move those shoulders back. So you're trying to get the shoulders away from the hands. So a lot of shoulder opening here. We're breathing. You can keep the knees bent, or you can start to straighten them if you can keep the back nice and neutral. And then we bring the knees down. We're back on our hands and knees. And we come into downward facing dog. So a couple of things about down dog. Some people find it puts a bit of stress on the wrists. So if that happens, a couple of things you could try. You could walk the feet further away from the hands, and that will enable you to get more of a straight line at the wrist. That takes pressure off the wrist. Another thing you could do is you could roll the mat up a little bit and put the rolled up part under the heel of the hand. And that gets that wrist area a little straighter. Or you can make fists with the hands, or you can have the hands on block, or you can get special wrist supports. Now the downside of walking the feet away from the hands is you're less likely to be able to get the heels down. If you walk the feet in closer to the hands, it's easier to get the heels down with the back neutral, but as I say, it could put a little bit more pressure on the wrist. So just play around with down dog, just find what's good for you. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up, exhale as you're folding forward, relaxing the head, bend the knees, inhaling into chair, exhale as you come back into mountain. So we're going to do a little bit of flow from down dog to up dog. Let's see how that goes. Inhale into chair, exhale folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale we plant the hands, we come into plank. We bring the knees down, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra, exhale as you're coming back to down dog. So to get into upward facing dog, we're going to come high up on the toes as we bring the shoulders over the wrists with the back rounded. We keep the elbows in and we inhale into upward facing dog, and we do the reverse, engaging the core as we go back into down dog. Inhaling into up dog, exhaling into down dog. And you're going to really work that core as you transition. Inhaling into up dog, just do the best you can. Exhaling into down dog. You could hold, just hold down dog if you want. You don't have to do this little flow from up dog into down dog. But this is a totally strengthening kind of movement, kind of rhythm that we're getting into. Next time you're in down dog, hold down dog, and we look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up, exhale as you fold forward, bend the knees, and we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. So let's do a little bit of a flow, another flow. So we're going to work on the quads a lot. We do a lot of lunges in this one. I call it a lunge salute. We did this fairly recently, I think. We start off in chair, inhale. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up, and on the exhale we bring the fingertips to the ground. We take the right leg back, knee down, and we inhale as we come up into a lunge with the arms raised. We're going to hold this for a breath or two. We'll be doing this sequence a few times, but normally when we're in this position, after a couple, we'll start just holding this position for one breath. So we'll, first round, pretty slow, then we'll speed up a little bit. Bring the hands down. We come into plank, knees down, chin chest forward and down, inhaling into cobra, exhale, down dog. We hold down dog 2 or 3 breaths. And then on the next exhale, We bring that right foot forward, back knee down, and we're inhaling, we're back in lunge on the other side. So whichever leg goes back, that's the leg that comes forward first. We bring the hands down, back foot joins the front foot, inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come into mountain. Inhale chair, a little bit faster. Exhale folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, I just take my fingertips to the ground, left leg back, knee down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, we're back in plank. Knees come down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, which we hold. Down dog's our resting pose in this sequence. Pushing the hands into the ground, armpits towards the ground, you're looking between the legs. You're breathing. And on the next exhale, you bring that left foot forward, back knee goes down. Inhaling as you sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands down, back foot forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale into chair, exhale folding forward, inhale halfway up, exhale fingertips to ground, right leg back, knee down, inhale, lunge, exhale, plank, chaturanga, inhale up dog, exhale down dog, holding down dog. On the next exhale, right foot forward, back knee down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up, getting into a nice rhythm here. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to ground. Left leg back, knee down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, we come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold. Next exhale. Right foot between the hands. Back knee down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, we're in chair, and then we come all the way up. So we'll do the same, but you can do a high lunge if you want a little bit more challenge. Inhale into chair, exhale folding forward, inhale halfway up, exhale fingertips to ground, take the right leg back, knee stays high. Inhaling to the high lunge if you can. Exhale, we're back in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Can we hold down dog, that resting pose? Next exhale, we bring the right foot forward, back knee high. Inhaling as the arms come up, we're keeping the feet nicely in line. It's a crescent lunge, not warrior. Back foot joins the front foot. Halfway up, we'll fold forward into chair, then mountain. Other side. We start on the other side. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the ground. We take the left leg back. Knee stays high. As we sweep the arms up, we come back into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. You guys should be getting nice and warm. We're generating that internal heat here. We look forward, we bring that left foot forward, taking the back knee high. Inhale as we sweep those arms up. Exhale, back foot joins the front foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent, we're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. So what we're going to do next, we'll start off the same way, but we're going to hold the poses, do a little bit of extra stretching of the quads and the hamstrings. Folding forward, halfway up, we bring the hands down to the ground, we take the right foot back. This time the knee is going to come down, and we bring the arms up. And we're just going to hold this for a breath or two. And then we bring the hands onto the front knee, top of that front leg. Now if you want a deeper stretch, so this is going to stretch out the front of that back leg, but if you want to go deeper there, you could take hold of that back foot. I'm going to take hold of it with both hands to begin with, and I'm going to try and pull that foot in a little closer so I get a deeper stretch. If that is too much for you, just keep the foot on the ground. Don't forget, listen to your body. That takes priority over what I say, okay? Keep yourselves nice and safe. You're breathing. We gently let the back foot come down. We bring the hands either side of the front foot, and we're going to walk that front foot forward an inch or two. And then we're going to go in and out of lunge and hamstring stretches. So on an exhale, we start to straighten that leg, that front leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, we extend. Now this time we're going to hold the extension. We walk the hands a little bit closer. You want to keep the kneecap toes pointing up towards the ceiling. You can keep, if it's an intense stretch, just keep that knee bent. If you hyperextend, keep the knee slightly bent. Don't totally straighten the leg if you're a hyperextender. Getting a stretch, the back of the leg, and I feel it round the hip a little bit here too. Let's transition into lizard. So we come back into the lunge. And some of you might want to block here with your forearms on the block. Or you can stay high, if that's enough. If you can go deeper, you bring the forearms onto the mat. And you get a pretty good hip opener here. And we hold this for 3 or 4 breaths. And then we come up slowly. We bring the hands on the outside of that front foot. We come into plank, chaturanga, inhaling into up dog, exhale down dog. And then we bring the other foot forward. It's going to be your right foot, back knee down. We're in a lunge on the other side. Don't forget, in the lunge, when we're coming down, we're also trying to pull. We're not moving the front foot or the back knee, but we're trying to pull them closer to each other. That takes the pressure off the lower back, and it gives you, also adds a little bit of strengthening. We bring the arms up. Just bringing the arms up gets into a deeper stretch. Hands down. And then if you want to go even deeper, you take hold of that back foot. I'm taking hold of the foot with both hands, and I'm going to try and get that foot in a little closer. So getting into a deeper stretch at the front of that leg and the front of that hip, and breathe. We release. We walk that front foot forward an inch or two, and on the exhale we extend the leg. Inhale into lunge. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, extend. And then lunge. Extend, and this time we hold the extension. We walk the hands in a little bit closer, having the kneecap pointing towards the ceiling and the foot towards the ceiling. And as I say, knee is bent slightly if you hyperextend. And the more you fold forward, the more you're going to feel the stretch, but just be aware of what's going on in the back. Don't overstretch the back, don't aggravate the back. And then into lizard, using a block, or you can stay on the hands, or you can bring the forearms to the ground, whatever, and just hang out here for a little bit. And then we come out of lizard into downward facing dog. We walk the feet forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're in chair, and then we come all the way up. Okay, tree. Well, on the right foot, your right foot, you bring the left foot inside that standing leg. And then we bring the palms together. And if you want, you can bring the arms up. So stay in tree. So there's a transition from tree. Sometimes we do dancer pose, but this is a little bit different. So what we're going to do from tree, if you want to try it, is we're just going to take hold of that top foot. But we take hold of it with both hands, and you want to keep the knees nice and close to each other. And this supposedly is a good stretch. If you have any knee issues, this should be a good stretch. Just holding this. But what we're going to do from here is we're going to start pushing the foot into the hand. Try not to let the leg splay out. As we hinge forward, it's a little bit like dancer pose. Put both hands are onto that back foot. Go nice and slow, and you breathe. And then we slowly come back up. Quite a challenge. Tree on the other side. You're on the left foot, right foot is inside the leg, below or above the knee. Remember, never push into the knee joints. Or if your foot is against the knee, don't push into it too hard. Bring the arms up. Standing leg is working, engaging those quads, you're strengthening that standing leg. And then if you want to add those other stretches, we're keeping the knee in, so I've got my legs very close to each other. We don't want that leg to go over to the side. And I'm going to start off just pulling the foot in close, keeping the knees close to each other. And then I start pushing that foot into the hands, hinging forward. It's a little bit like dancer pose. If you want to do dancer pose instead, you're welcome. You breathe. Go slow, be controlled, and then we come back up. And we shake everything out, moving those shoulders, whatever feels good. Extend the arms to the side. Bring the right arm under the left arm. Eagle arms. Nice shoulder stretch. Into chair. We bring the right leg on top. We squeeze those legs together and maybe hook the foot. Once you're hooked, you try and get a nice alignment. You're centering the arms. You're going a little deeper. You're bending that standing knee. You're lifting the arms up. You're leaning back. Breathe. And then we come out and we shake everything out. A lot going on eagle. Shoulder stretches. You're opening the back. Hip stretches. Left arm under right arm. Into chair. We bring the left leg on top. We squeeze those legs together and then we try and hook that foot if your knee allows it, if your hips allow it. You center, you lean back, you start bringing the arms up and breathe. And then we release and we shake everything out. Come onto your back. So as you know, we're working our way to standing pigeon. So we're doing lots of hip openers and we're trying to open the shoulders a little bit. Let's do recline pigeon. You're on your back. You bring the outer of one foot, so I'm going to bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg. And we pull the legs in, so I'm holding onto the back of the right leg. Left foot is active, pushing the heel out, pulling the toes in. You're trying to keep the tailbone as low to the ground as you can. A little bit of rocking from side to side. Massaging the lower back. So as we're pulling the legs in closer, we're trying to get the tailbone towards the ground. So you've got those opposite forces. We switch legs. Outer of the right foot onto the left leg. You're pulling the legs in. You're activating the foot. Keeping the head on the ground. We rock a little bit, side to side. And then we pull it a little bit more tailbone down. So if you're not into standing pigeon, you could do this pose again. You could do crow, you could do whatever you like. But we might, if we have time, we might do crow after flying pigeon. We'll see. Bring both feet to the ground. So the feet are wider than the hips. And we just take the knees over from side to side. And we're getting a little bit of a twist here. And again, we're working the back, getting a bit more mobility there. And we're stretching out the outside of the hips a little bit here. And then we pull both knees in. We hold on to the back of the legs, we lift the head up, and we rock up. Hold both for 3 or 4 breaths. And then we pull the feet in. We come onto our hands and knees. And then into downward facing dog. And we look forward, we walk forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Head relaxed. Inhale into chair. And then come all the way up. So standing pigeon. So next week I'm going to try and shield the sun. The sun's directly through into the house this time of year. So we'll start off, you're going to start off standing on your left foot. So I'm doing the mirror image. And you bring the other foot on top. So this is basically just like that reclined pigeon, except we're standing on that one leg. And we're just resting the hands on that top leg, one on the inside of the ankle, one on the inside of the knee. You're bending the knee of that standing leg. And this is basically standing pigeon. The more you bend the knee, the more you're going to feel the hip stretch. And you could bring the fingers down. I should have said have a block handy, so you could have a block here and the block would be there just so you could keep your balance. Before we switch to the other side, we'll get our blocks and we can just hold here. And then we come back up. So you're getting a nice stretch, and particularly on the outside of the hip. We'll do that on the other side. This time I'm going to have a block handy. So you're on your left foot. As you're bending the knee of the standing leg, you're bringing the right foot on top. And we're just resting the hands on that top leg. And as we go deeper, and also I'm trying to keep the back pretty neutral, not rounding the back too much. And then I'm going to go a little bit lower, and the block is there just to help keep the balance. You can start off with the block at full height, start to lower it. You can bring your fingertips to the ground maybe, and we just hang out here. If you can touch the ground with your fingertips, maybe you can get into flying pigeon. Let's do flying pigeon from this angle. You're on the right foot, doesn't matter which side as long as you switch sides. So we're back in standing pigeon. So this top leg, inside of the shin, is going to be a shelf for the ribs. So we're trying to get contact between the ribs and that leg. So we're bringing the hands down. So I'm just touching the mat with my fingers. Then this foot, I want to try and get it as high at the arm as possible. And the foot is like an extra hand. You're trying to bring the toes around that upper arm. And then you try and get the other knee, or just the shin just below the knee, as high up the other arm as you can. And you're pushing the arm into that leg. And you're pushing the other arm into the inside of the foot. And I'm going to bring my hand slightly forward and lean forward, just like I would in crow. I'm grabbing the arm, I'm looking forward, and I'm going to let that back foot just float off the ground. So in pigeon, and then if you want to fly, you extend that top leg back and you breathe. A challenging pose. Whew. Silver star for trying. Gold star if you can get into that pose. It's a challenging, advanced pose. You need open shoulders, open hips, a lot going on. As I say, if you're not into this, you can just hold the regular standing pigeon, or you could do the reclined pigeon or regular pigeon. It's up to you. We're on the other side. So we're bending the knee of the standing leg. We're trying to get contact between the ribs and that top leg. And then we're pushing the arms, one arm, upper arm, into the inside of the foot, the other arm into the leg. So I'm leaning over to the side and then pushing into that leg. So you've got really good contact, and you've really got to grab that upper arm with the foot, with the toes. So as I say, the toes are like an extra hand. And then you walk the hands forward. If you haven't walked the hands forward enough, you've got to wiggle that foot back. You're looking forward, you're bringing your weight forward until you find that light spot, and the foot will float off the ground. And then if you've got a good grip with the foot, a good solid base, you can extend the leg and you come out. Challenging pose. Really, really quite a hip opener. That's why we did all those hip openers to begin with. Okay, something really easy after that. I think it feels easy after that. You're in a standing position. You bring in the hands in front of you, about 8 inches. 6, 7, 8 inches. The hands are slightly wider than the feet. You come onto the toes, you bring in the knees really high up the arms, you're looking forward, and you bring your weight onto those upper arms and you let the feet float up, and you're in crow, and you're breathing, and you come out of crow. After standing pigeon crow seems like it's quite an easy pose, but it's not. Good luck. Thanks for trying. Come onto your back. I'm going to lie this way so the sun isn't right in my face. Happy baby. Pull the knees in and just rock a little bit. Take hold of the feet into happy baby pose, keeping length in the neck. You can hold on to the inside or the outside of the feet, doesn't matter, but wherever you're at, you're using quite a lot of arm strength, pulling the legs closer to the ground. You're also trying to get the tailbone closer to the ground. Take hold of the big toes, palms face each other. First two fingers, thumb round the big toe. We extend the legs, getting more into a V shape. You don't have to have the legs totally straight. We're pulling the shoulders down, away from the head. Try not to shrug the shoulders up. And we're trying to get a V shape with the legs. We keep hold of the big toes as we bend the knees. We lift the head up and we're going to rock backwards and forwards, and we're going to try and come up, balancing on the sit bones, keeping the feet off the ground, and then we extend the legs again. So I've got the legs extended and wide, they're still in a V position. And then we're going to quickly hold onto the back of the legs into boat. So the feet are together this time. And if you want more challenge, arms either side of the legs. You can even straighten the legs, lift the legs up if you want to go even further. We slowly lower the legs so they're a few inches off the ground. We bring the hands behind the head, supporting the head. The head is off the ground. You're pushing the lower back into the ground a lot, keeping the back safe, working the core. Abs of steel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down and we bring the arms over the head, trying to get length. Bend the elbows if it bothers the shoulders, but if you can straighten the legs, that would be good. Straighten the arms and the legs. Don't take a side stretch yet. What I want you to do is just to try and get length in one side of the body. So we're trying to make one side a little bit longer than the other side, opening that hip. And then we do the same on the other side. And then we switch. So basically, we're pulling the hips up and down in turn. Getting a little bit of action there. And then we come into the side stretch. Getting that banana shape. Stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. We pull the right knee in nice and close. So we're going to go into a twist here. So pulling the right knee in. And I'm going to shift my hips over to the right slightly, and then I'm taking that right leg over to the left, and I'm extending the right arm in the other direction, palm up, shoulders grounded, coming into a nice twist here, and breathe. We come out of the twist, we pull both knees in and we rock a little bit, and then we take the twist on the other side, extending the extending the right leg, left knee pulled in, shifting the hips over to the left slightly as you take the knee to the right side and extending the opposite arm, extending your left arm, palm up. Try and keep the shoulders on the ground, and try not to shrug the shoulders, and breathe. We come out of the twist, knees pulled in, a little bit of rocking again, and then one final full body stretch, getting length, and then into Shavasana, bringing the arms either side, palms up, take the feet a little bit apart and just totally relax. Try and keep length in the neck. If you find that your throat is opening too much, you might want a cushion under the head, so try and keep that nice neck back alignment. Just let yourself sink into the ground, merging with the ground. Letting every muscle relax. Keeping your attention on the breath. Just start to move the fingers and the toes. And then walk the feet in and roll over to your side, and take about 3 or 4 breaths here while you're on your side. And then gently come into a seated position. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the palms together. Namaste.